What's going on, everyone? Mr. Octagonal here. Now, today we are back with the Season 2 introduction here of the NCAA 2K19 Chicago Tech Crocodiles Dynasty. Now, you're probably wondering where the series has been. It's probably been a good 3 weeks or so, and that is because I've been pretty busy the past couple weeks, and I've had to sort of record content ahead, as 2 weeks ago I was extremely busy, and then last week I was on vacation, so I only had a few days to pre-record content. And setting up the season for this series isn't recording content, so I couldn't do it, and I sort of had to wait. So now that I'm home, we had time to set up the season, and I'm not in a rush to record content. So that is where Chicago Tech has been. I did have a good vacation this past week. That's also why there weren't as many uploads, because I didn't have enough content, and uploading's really slow. So I would have loved to have gotten more out, but uploading just takes ages. For every minute it takes at home, it takes like an hour there. It's like a 15-minute video that would take like 15 minutes to upload at home. It literally takes, no joke, like the whole day there. So, first of all, Chicago Tech has rebranded, new logo, new jerseys. Shout out to your boy AP85. He was the one who made the new logo and jerseys. I didn't even ask him to make a rebrand. He just did it. I will leave his channel link in the description. Make sure to go and sub to him. So the new logo is very clean, better than the old logo in my opinion, and the court as well looking nice. Still the swamp, aka the crock pot, shout out to Garrett. And then the jerseys, these look mighty fine. Starting with the home unis, they are white, and then the away unis are pretty similar. Wording is a little bit different, and these ones are green, but all around these jerseys are super clean. And then the alternate jerseys is the crocodile logo. So these jerseys look much better than last year's for sure. Not that last year's jerseys were bad, but this year's look more like actual jerseys. So here's a look at the roster. We will actually have a scrimmage later in the video, but here's the official roster, starting with point guard, Pickney, Banks, and Jackson. Same guys as last year. All three of them will once again likely get playing time. Shooting guard, of course, the new 4-star freshman, Brashad Anthony II, along with Nate Brown, who had a really nice year last year. Titus Lee, he was redshirted last year, a talented player. And then Freddie Winter, he is a walk-on recruit. Small forward, Elijah Smith, he played 2-guard last year. He's going to play the 3 this year. And then Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad may start at power forward, even though he's a little bit undersized, only 6'5", but that's not as big of an issue in college. Power forward, Quantavious October, now a senior, followed by Ming Xiaoping, who was redshirted last year, and then Chuck Terry, another walk-on recruit. And then at the center position, of course, Luke Westwood, a 2-star freshman. These ratings don't mean anything. Westwood is the highest rated on the team, even though he's only a 2-star. Ronald Clemens will likely be the starter once again at the center spot. And then Howard Bell is the other walk-on recruit. So the roster is pretty similar. Obviously, some new faces, some new freshmen in Westwood and Anthony. And then the walk-ons, obviously, guys like Zachary Seals. He graduated. Marcus Vincenzo, among others, transferred. So looking at the scrimmage, here are the rosters. Howard Bell getting some nice playing time. And then for the green team, here's a look at the roster. Not saying these are the 10 guys who are going to play, but this is a decent chunk of the group. So Brashad Anthony starting the game off with a quick 3 as Brashad Anthony II led all scorers in this one with 15 points. Ronald Clemens posting and toasting on the walk-on. Howard Bell. There's Anthony with a nice layup. Very hot start for BA2. Nate Brown with the reverse layup. Green down by 1. They are away, while the white is home as there's Howard Bell with a nasty jam. Bell definitely held his own here in this scrimmage. And then Elijah Smith from downtown for 3 as the white is up by 6. But then Walton Banks the second. I don't know if he had an in-game dunk at all last year, throwing it down. Pickney with the challenging layup. Now a junior hopes to build on what was a very solid year last year. There is Walton Banks the second with the layup, and then a nice dunk for Ronald Clemens, cutting the lead down to 6. Now an 8-point game, Clemens with the layup, as Howard Bell unable to get to the paint quick enough. And then October denied. Brashad Anthony II saying, "Not in my house," over to Rashad Pickney, who would stop, pop, and drop for 3. And the Whites are now up by 9 as Titus Lee gets that one by Brashad Anthony. hitting the layup, 7-point game as Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad to BA2. Brashad Anthony, who actually misses for wide open three, one of his few struggles in this game. But Anthony, not too long later, would hit the layup. 25-16 is our score, as Anthony, surprised he didn't go for the dunk. Extremely athletic. That man has hops, and he can absolutely throw it down. Nice play by the senior QO, Quantavious October, as here's Brashad Anthony. He would pass it out to Abdul-Wahad, and the Crocs are playing hot potato until Pickney hits the tray ball, making it a 12-point lead, now 22-32. October hits the layup, now an 8-point game, as the green team was very solid. They are mainly made of bench guys. Pickney misses for three, but there's Howard Bell up the board over to BA2. Brashad Anthony the second for the mid-ranger danger, 24-34. Ronald Clemens, not a very good offensive player. He did lead the green team in scoring with 14 points. 14 was his career high last year, so as you can see, not a great day defensively for Howard Bell. Is Rashad Pickney, 5'10", showing off the leap. 28-36 is Brashad Anthony doing what he does best, and that's throwing it down. That's pretty much all for this scrimmage. White will win it 38-28. Football score right there. Anthony and Pickney both in double figures, as the white team definitely looks superior. They have 4 out of the 5 starters, and then the green team surprisingly only took 1 3 the whole game. This is a Chicago Tech team that likes to shoot the ball, very explosive offensively. The only 3 of the game was from Quantavious, who missed it. So no 3s attempted from Walton Banks II, which is very strange. Nate Brown also didn't attempt any. So looking at the schedule, last year the Crocodiles played 20 games. This year they are playing 28 games, and once again the Crocodiles are independent. Obviously in college football, teams like Notre Dame are very successful as independents. Usually you don't see many in basketball, but the Crocodiles are once again. So opening day will be on the road, taking on Wake Forest. Shout out to RMP, who's doing a Wake Forest football dynasty. Then versus Memphis, a team that made the Final Four a season ago. They're very, very scary. Now led by the number 2 overall player in the country in Jalen Green. Then versus South Florida at Stanford, at Illinois in state battle. We get to see Aher Uguak, who is now a senior. At Toledo versus Temple versus Michigan, we get to see the senior Cameron Krutwig. Versus Washington State versus Appalachian State at Penn State versus Iowa at NC State at Baylor versus Pacific versus Colorado State versus Western Illinois. Shout out to FG. He's doing a Leatherneck NCAA basketball dynasty. Also, speaking of those guys, I'm also close with Craniac Gaming. He's doing one with Sacramento State. I would have put Sacramento State on the schedule, but there's no jerseys of them in the jersey vault. So shout out to them. At Seton Hall, at Yale versus Kansas, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. At Northern Colorado, shout out to Husker Ninja. He's doing a series with them over on NCAA basketball. At ECU versus St. Louis versus Michigan State. At Cleveland State, at Arizona versus Duke. And then at Arkansas State. So there's a look at the schedule. And then the lineup. The opening day starting lineup will be Rashad Pickney, Brashad Anthony II, Elijah Smith, Mahmoud Abdul-Wahad, and Ronald Clemens. And then the bench will be Walton Banks II, Nate Brown, Quantavious October, and Jake Jackson. Those are our guys currently getting minutes for right now. That'll end the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, have a good one.